Hello everybody, welcome to Sharie's painting. So today we are going to be painting a sea turtle, and I love little sea turtles because they float around and they're just so happy. It's like, hey dude. So these guys are a lot of fun, and I just thought I'd draw one and see what we can come up with today. So this is our sea turtle, and I am going to first of all, welcome everybody back who's been here on my channel before, and welcome any newcomers that may be on board. And please do like and subscribe if you would like to be notified of any further videos that I might do. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to outline this guy in black. I have drawn him. If you guys would like a copy of the drawing, you can, but I'm gonna, as I outline him, I'll sort of tell you how I came about drawing him. Okay, so it's pretty loose and free, and I'm not a perfectionist, and I don't claim to stay in the lines. So let's just see what we can come up with. So I've got my little Sharpie marker here. And the supplies you're going to need today are watercolor pencils, and you can do your turtle whatever color you like, everybody. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. Whatever fits your fancy, that's what you should be doing. So we need an ultrafine Sharpie permanent marker if you wish, a pencil to draw, of course, your sketch in, and I've got two round paint brushes, a small one and a medium medium one, just for easy talking. I just got those at Michael's. They weren't expensive. This is not an expensive thing to do. I've got 2 jars of water here, one for cleaning my brush and one for after cleaning, using the fresh water to dip my brush in, and Arteza watercolors crayons, which are great. If you have a different kind, that's okay too. Just choose whatever colors you like. For today's, and also paper towel, we need that. And for today's project, I am going to be using a whole bunch of different colors. So I'm just going to run through them really quick, and then you guys can, like I said, you can choose whatever colors you want. So I've got robin egg blue, I've got peacock blue, ocean blue, and Aegean blue. I have coyote brown. I have dark chocolate brown. I have espresso brown, cocoa brown, Sienna brown. I have cinnamon. I have burnt ochre. I have a bunch of yellows here as well. I have sapphire yellow, lemon yellow, and yellow ochre. I have black. I have honey. I have garnet red. I also have a little bit of orange because I feel like there might be a little orange in them, and some carmine red, as well as purple or amethyst purple, elephant gray, charcoal gray, and moss green and lime green. So that is quite a little list of colors, but like I said, you can choose to use whatever you like. I may not even use all of these, but I will let you know as we go through the painting process. So like I said, if you want me to send you the sketch, I would be more than happy to do that. You can just email me at Sharie Paints, SHARIEPAINTS, and I can at gmail.com, and I can certainly send those off to you. But for now, I think we're just going to get started. Oh, and you need paper towel, okay, for your brushes. So how I came about doing this is I did the head first, okay? So all I did was I drew almost like a little cylinder, and then brought it to a point and rounded off the outside edge. So to draw the cylinder, you're just going to go up and then bring it in a little bit, go around, bring it out a little bit, and then down. So that's pretty easy peasy. And then I drew these little things in here. I guess they're his shells, his skin, and they have reptilian skin. I mean, they are one of the oldest reptiles around. So, and I just, you know, drew haphazard shapes, and you don't have to draw anything, you know, too specific either. Yours can be certainly however you would like them to be. The next thing I did was I drew a little piece underneath to join his neck. So just like that. And then I drew an oval all the way around, okay? So oval and oval, oval, all the way around, almost like an egg shape, really. All the way around, doesn't have to be perfect. You can tell I'm going way out of the lines already, but that's okay. So just a little oval, okay? And then you want his little tail to be right here at the end of your oval. And then I just drew these little pieces in here for the exterior of his shell. And, you know, just little rectangles is all I did here. And on the other side as well, just little tiny rectangles. Sea turtles are not perfect, and every single one you see are different, okay? So just like that. And then for the base here, I drew another little square shape here. And then I might even add another one in there, but we'll see. Then what I did is I did his front paw, or his paws. I don't know, I guess his legs is what you would call them. And I went around and I just made like what do you call those things? Boomerang, a boomerang shape all the way around. And again, I just put these little square pieces and round pieces on him. It's just to indicate the armor, okay? And they don't, like I said, they don't have to be perfect, you guys. This is all in fun. So, and I'm just doing this so that you get an idea of how I did the sketch. So just like that, and then one for the other side as well. I don't even think mine are the same sizes on each side, but it just doesn't matter, because if it's making you happy and you're enjoying painting, then that's the part that counts. So again, I made these little shapes in here. And I just think these guys are so cool. Like I said, they just float around all day, and they love swimming. They swim for thousands of miles, these things. So they're really cool little beasts. So then for the feet, I just kind of went halfway, like I went where the tail was, and then just a little bit away from each side of the tail. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. And again, I made his little armor stuff around the side, and then some in the center as well. And then same on the other side. So it just doesn't need to be this perfect, outstanding thing that you need. That's the thing. People get wrapped up in the perfection of art, and really, truly, there is no perfection in art. So then what I did was underneath that top piece by his neck, I made just a straight line, and then brought the lines in a little bit toward the center, and made a square that looks not like a square. And then I came and I made a 6-sided shape, and I made 1, 2, 3 of those underneath. And again, not having to be perfect here, you guys. And then for this one, I just sort of made a little rounder shape, square shape. And then I just filled in over here, over here, over here. And these shapes, like I said, you guys, they do not have to be perfect. Every single turtle is different. Every single turtle is a different color. So whatever you feel inclined to do, you have an artistic license to use, and you can use it. So there's my shapes, and there's my turtle. Now, we will go and erase all those lines, by the way. I'm gonna go grab my eraser because I don't think I brought it over with me. I drew a couple of little sea things, okay? So I think these are sea urchins. I've got a shell over here, some seagrass, and some coral over here. So I'm gonna just briefly go over the coral. And this was just a bunch of scribbles, honestly, folks. Like nothing too perfect. I just wanted to get something in here to show that there was something on the bottom of the ocean. So just a bunch of little coral, and I love this coral stuff. It's so cool if you've ever seen it, and it comes in so many different colors. So it's a really neat little thing there. So there's our coral, okay? And then we've got these little sea creatures, which I think I'm gonna fill in the sand. First, there's a little bit more coral here, so I'm gonna do that part. Just like that. Actually, I probably will do all those. There we go. The coral, and don't make it all the same size, you guys. Make it all different. Okay, and then we've got the ground here that the coral is sitting on. And then I think these are called little sea anemones or something. And they're dark, and they're almost like a sea flower. And so you just draw your circle and then draw lines around it and make the lines curved, almost like a spider, okay? And these guys are facing in different directions. So some of them might go away from you, some of them might go to you, and we'll fill that in with color as well. There we go. And then this guy, who's really cool too. There we go. And that's about it for that. And then I drew a little patch of sand in here as well. And then I've got this little sea urchin guy. So draw a circle. And then draw the center of the circle just up a little bit in the circle. And then you're just going to go around with these wavy little lines. And we're going to color all that in too. There we go. So that's all done. And then we have our seagrass over here. So I'm just going to follow my lines up and over, just like that, coming down like this, down like that. And these have all different shapes, you guys. So there's no right and wrong way to do this. Whatever you feel, whatever kind of shape you feel you want to see, then put it in. Because no one says this is anything to do with being perfect. This is just for fun. There we go. And make some taller, some longer, some skinnier, you know, whatever you feel guided to do. I'm going to have this guy go way up in here, come down here. There might be another one in front of him. So he'll go there. And then in behind here, he's going to back there. Back in here, in there, and he might even come in behind that guy, behind the turtle. So there's our seagrass. We're gonna set our coral down here as well, and this is gonna be the sand at the bottom of the ocean. There we go, and I've got a little seashell here too. Now, if you don't feel like doing the little seashell, you don't have to. But all I did was I drew a little cylinder to the bottom, and it's going to come almost to a point there. And then this part here, it's almost like it's really thin lines that come in there, and they really go around. And then this portion of it is going to be quite dark. And then I've got something else over here, probably a little more coral or something in here, maybe a starfish, whatever you want. And then we're going to set him down too in the sand. Okay, so that is it. And usually I don't do a whole page, but today I just kind of felt like I needed to. Now what I've got here are the bubbles. Okay, I've got little circles, and they're different color or different size circles. So I'm not going to highlight those yet. I think what I'm going to do is possibly use the watercolor crayon on those. So I'm going to leave those alone for now. But for now, then, I want you just to erase all those lines that you made, the pencil lines, so we don't get all those in there too. So we will do that real quick. There we go. And my sea turtle has lots of them too. So lots of little lines everywhere. There we go. Just get rid of all of those because I don't really want those. I mean, some of them are going to be covered up because the paint in some areas will be quite dark, but for the most part, I really don't want them there. There we go. There we go. This is so fun, you guys. I hope you guys are liking this because I certainly am. Okay, so our step 1 is just about finished. Or step 2, I guess, if you include the erasing. There we go. I guess I could have paused the video too, but live and learn. Sorry, I've got a very sore wrist, so just trying to hold this book straight. There we go. Okay, so that's good enough. A little bit down here. And there we go. Our lines are gone. And that is what we're left with. We're left with this really cool little sketch of the water. So the next thing, make sure you get all those little things off unless you want texture in your picture, which, you know, if you do, then that's great. You could leave it on. There we go. Okay. All right. So there we go. That is finished. So now what I'm going to do with mine is I'm referring to a photo on Pixabay, you guys, because I love Pixabay and they have outstanding photos and you can pretty much get anything you like on there. And they're royalty free, so don't feel bad about copying them, okay? I always change mine up a little bit anyway, because I like doing kind of my own thing, but I like just the sea turtle itself I got from Pixabay and just added a little bit of my own to it. So I am gonna make this guy, I've got all these browns and yellows, and that's what I'm gonna make him out to be. But first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the robin egg blue, and I'm gonna color in my little circles, okay? With that really light blue color. So you can do that as well. And I'm just gonna twirl my pencil. You don't wanna press really hard here because if you press hard, it'll leave a mark on your paper. So just press ever so gently on this. There we go. I think I've got one over here. I've got one over here. Perfect. And I think I'll put one here too. There we go. Okay, so is that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with the ocean blue, okay? And you're gonna just grab your brush, dip it in the water, and you're just gonna get that paint right off the end of the brush. And I love this stuff because it's got that aqua color to it. And just gently flow it over the page. Go around those little circles we just made. And we're gonna make this guy look like he's floating around in the ocean blue. There we go. And just go around the circles. And you know, if you guys have a faster way of doing this, feel free. Like if you feel like you want to do this with a bigger brush, then you can most certainly do that. I like this little brush, doing it with these little brushes because I feel like I have a little bit more control as to what I'm doing. So I can get around the, you know, those little bubbles, for instance. I'm not sure how those are going to turn out, but we're going to try it. Like I said, this is something new to me too. So there we go. And leave little patches of white here and there if you like, because it just adds a little bit more too. So maybe I'll leave a little patch of white there. And go down in here. But when you use the ocean color like this, or this, it makes it look like, you know, that there's ripples in the water and there's sunlight coming through the water. So just like that. And don't worry if you go over the lines. I'm not one for staying in the lines. I've mentioned that before. Not a big deal. I love these colors. They're so beautiful. And it's so fun to work with them. Okay, and then we're gonna go in between here too, you guys. Up in here, down here by his little arms there. Around that little circle, down in here. There we go. This is gonna be so cool when it's done. I mean, I've done sea turtles before, but never quite in this depth. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. That's what I say. And I think I'm gonna get a little darker as I go to the bottom of the paper. Just because I wanna make sure, like, if we're looking at this in real life, it's always gonna be darker as it gets closer to you. So I just wanna go a little, whoop, that might be a bit too dark. So I'll spread that around a little bit. There we go. Oh, and I just covered up my little blue mark. That's okay. That's okay. All right, so we're just gonna continue doing that. And there might be places you miss because there's quite a bit of information on this page, but that's okay. We'll get to it eventually. And just go right in between here, and then we're gonna lay down the sand floor, and then we're gonna let that all dry before we go any further. So just lay it all in there, just like that. Up in here too. And like I said, normally I don't do a whole page, but I felt inclined to give this guy lots of space. And I think those bubbles are gonna turn out really cool too. So a little darker here, in there, and then as it comes out here, it goes off and gets lighter. And same in this area. There we go. Yeah, this is gonna be totally cool. There we go. I love doing these videos, and who would have thought this is what I was gonna be doing, honestly. I never even imagined that I could even do this kind of thing. I mean, I considered myself to be not all that great, so, you know, for me to be doing this and talking to people on YouTube was the last thing that I ever thought would happen. But life surprises you sometimes. Okay, so there is our ocean, okay? And then I'm gonna let that dry, so I'm gonna pause the video for a minute. We're gonna let that completely dry. Actually, you know what? We'll do this part first. We'll put that golden part in there first. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the burnt ochre, and I'm just gonna gently rub this in here. Don't rub too hard, you guys. And we're gonna just make it look like a bit of sand down here. We'll put our first coat on, make it nice and light, and then we'll come back in with some darker colors. So we'll just make that nice and light for now. There we go. And down in here. Okay, it might be a little darker in there, but this is a good start. And then you're gonna take your brush again and just gently put that in there too. And we're gonna give that another coat, but this is just the base coat for that. There we go. And it shouldn't take too long for that to dry. And I think I might do a little bit more ocean up there too. So let's do that first. I'll just go up in here, do a little more of that, throw a little bit more in between here. And then down the side as well, down in this area. There we go. Okay. That's looking pretty cool, I gotta say. I'm gonna darken that up a touch. Darken that up a touch. And then just along in here. There we go. And down up in here too. Like I said, normally I don't do a full page, so not used to doing quite this much. There we go. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna let this completely dry. And if you want, guys, just roll your pencil off on the paper towel really gently, and that'll dry it, and it'll be just like new for next time you use it. So I'm just gonna pause the video and I'll let this dry, and then we'll come right back. Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so mine is dry. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to grab the Argentine blue, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna just do a little bit of this blue around my circles, okay, that I made. Just to indicate bubbles. Actually, I guess it's not as dry as I thought. There we go. So just to indicate a few bubbles. I just didn't want to do that in black. I felt like it would be too much. And there's one here. And there was one over here too. So I'll just put that line there. Oh, and there's one right here too. There we go. Okay, so now we got our bubbles in there. Okay, and then we're gonna start on our turtle. So grab your yellow ochre, okay, because we're gonna give it a nice light shade of yellow ochre on his head here in the spots. I think I dripped some water on my, there we go. So just a little bit of light yellow ochre on his spots here. And then we're gonna mix it all together too. But just a little bit of that yellow ochre just to start. And on these ones, I want you to put the yellow ochre more toward the center of his shell. So more toward the center of the pieces, okay? Just like that. And same on this side, more toward the center there and the center here. And you might want to press fairly dark with that, just in the center portion, okay? And then we're gonna lightly go over that, just lightly with the yellow, just to give it a little bit more, just a little bit of a yellowish hue in there. And then we're gonna go over it with some other colors. We're gonna add all kinds of colors before we do any more of the painting part. So just really lightly go over that with the yellow. There we go. And these ones over here, I think the paws and, or sorry, the legs and part are, we're gonna use more of the brown for that. There we go. All right, I guess these have a little bit of yellow in them as well. So I'm just gonna do a little yellow there, and then we're probably gonna be going around that with the brown. And we're gonna be adding the brown in between all these parts and pieces. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now I want you to take, I'm just trying to set aside exactly the colors I used so that you guys know which colors I used. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the orange actually, and I'm gonna go over top just a little bit lightly of that yellow that we just put in there. And I'm gonna put the marks toward the center, okay, of the shell. Or of the marks we did, or the pieces we did on a shell. I don't know what they're called. So I'm kind of not doing a very good job of describing that, but toward these little circles and squares and etc. that we made, we just want it to go in toward the center, just over top of that yellow, and we don't want it to be super duper dark. We just kind of want it to be there, but not there, all at the same time. It's just sort of a underlying color. And then a little bit in here too, not a whole lot, but a little. There we go. And that's done. And then I'm going to take my Sienna brown, and I'm gonna go in and do the same sort of thing. But this time, what I'm gonna do is start at the top. Is that my Sienna brown? Better make sure, yep. I wanna start at the top, and I wanna make lines toward the center, okay? Again, just like what we did with the other one. And I just want you to do this at the top of the ones going down the middle. And over on here, we're gonna go this way a little bit. And we're gonna come in and darken all these up too, and we're gonna come in with a darker color as well, but I want you to try and keep that centerpiece as light as we can. Like with that yellow, just leave that color in there by itself. There we go. This is so fun. There we go. And just like that, because they kind of have like a starburst effect on their back sides. So, and then here we're just going to add a little bit of this color in here as well, that the sienna brown, just to give it a little bit more brownish color up in here. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the I think we're going to go in with the chocolate brown and do the same. So just put that right over top. Again, just using those lines. And we're just putting on layers, just like you would in an acrylic painting. Just putting on the layers. It's going to look like he's got 1,000 suns on his back. There we go. Down in here. Here. Down in here. He's going to look so cool when he's done. Okay, and then we're going to take that same color and just add a shade, okay? Not very much, just a little bit up in the smaller circles on his head, just like that. And then we're going to go in, we're actually going to press quite hard on these pieces with the same color, okay? Because these ones are quite dark. We want them to be quite dark. And if you have to sharpen, that's okay too. You can just pause the video. Some of these might be lighter, some of them might be darker, so I think I'm going to use an Expresso brown as well, just because it's going to change it up a bit. And I might even use that cinnamon color too in here, just for fun. So I'll use that, then I'll go in here and use that cinnamon color. There we go. Just for fun and just to change it up a little bit. So same on the other side. I'm gonna use the dark chocolate brown, maybe put one here, one there, one over there, maybe one here and here. There we go. And maybe one over here and maybe at the end, like that. And then I'm gonna use the other brown go in here and here and here. And I know you probably don't think it's making much of a difference, but it is. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this brown in here and in here and in there. There we go. This guy's gonna look so cool. And we're gonna do the same down here, guys. I know he kind of looks spotted right now, but he'll look better, I promise. So again, I'm gonna put the dark ones under here because he's gonna have a little shadow there. So, and then I'll put a dark one at the end here, and then I'll use the other brown to do that. There we go. And I'm gonna put this darker brown in here again on these ones. Maybe in there, and then maybe the other brown in here, like that. Okay. So we just about got our turtle done. I'm also gonna take that cinnamon brown, and again, I'm gonna add a little more color in here. Oh, we forgot this guy all that time. And this guy, whoops. Okay, well, they're gonna be a little bit on the redder side. And then when we're done all that, we're gonna go back in with the dark brown and we're gonna add more of those little rays, I guess I'm gonna call them. There we go. And we wanna kind of leave some of this in white. So, there we go. Some of it in brown, some of it in white. We'll have to see how we feel. Okay, so that's the turtle. So now I'm gonna go and I'm going to color our coral. And for the coral, I'm gonna use Carmine red. And I'm gonna press dark in some spots and light in some spots. So whatever you feel you need to, but coral is generally super duper bright. So I'm just gonna go in there, and then I'm probably gonna use a darker red or a bit of a different color red in here as well, just so we get a little bit of a change up. There we go. I'll put it really dark at the base here and in there, and there's a piece down in here too. So that's pretty good for that. And I'm actually gonna grab another color red, you guys. Sorry about this. This one is passion fruit red. And I'm just gonna put that in there too, just to make some areas light, some areas dark, and you might wanna leave some white there too. Okay, and then for these guys, I am totally gonna use a bright, bright, bright yellow, okay? As I want these guys to be super bright down here. And then in the middle, I'm gonna use more of an ochre color. But I'm just coloring around them. I'm not being too fussy about it. Okay, and then for that center piece, I'm gonna actually use purple. That amethyst purple, because it's mine and I can do what I want. There we go, a little bit of purple there. For this coral, I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do more of a, let's see, what color should I do that one? I think I'm going to do more of a orangey color there, just so we can bring that orange from the turtle down in here. There we go, and he's all done already. So that was easy. And then these guys are gonna be green. So whatever greens you like, I am going to use my, I think I'll use my moss green, and my coyote brown is gonna be on the, I think I'm gonna use my moss green on these guys. They're gonna be darker at the bottom, and I'm not worrying about, you know, hanging out and staying in the lines here. I might grab another green that's a little bit darker, but for now I'm gonna just use this one. And I want it to be fairly dark in here at the base of this plant. And like I said, you know, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time doing this part. This is just, it's just for fun. So don't feel like it has to be perfect. Don't feel like you have to stay in the lines. Just let yourself go. There we go. I'm gonna bring him down here. Maybe there's a little darkness in there too. And I'm gonna leave a bit of white in here too, because that'll lighten up the green considerably in there. So it's gonna be a little darker at the base here again. And there might be some lines over there. There we go. And I might even add another one here. There we go. And then I'll trace him later. So now I'm gonna do this little shell, and I am going to do him gray in here. Like that. He's gonna be really super dark in here, okay, at the base and the opening. And then I'm just gonna gently color lightly in here, the gray color, because a lot of times they are just gray. And then for this one, I'm going to do that red color again. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm gonna go over this again with the burnt ochre. And I'm just gonna make it a little bit darker in here. Oh, I forgot to do that guy. So make him, I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker in here, and we gotta do our other guy too here. So that's gonna be darker in there. It'll probably be darker in here. And then just fade it out as you get there. This is gonna be dark in here. Just like that. And fade out there. He's gonna be dark through here. So anywhere you see that there might be a shadow in there, and then just fade it out, because that's our bottom of the ocean floor. So, okay. So now we are going to take the paintbrush and we're gonna do our magic. So I'm gonna start with these little bubbles up here because they're at the top of the page and I don't want to be running through all the wet stuff. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of water and I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna rub this in a little bit, but I'm gonna leave a little bit of a white mark, okay, right in the top of the bubble, or leave it a little bit lighter in color, because then it'll kind of look like a bubble. So a little lighter in color, you want to blend in on the sides there, but then just leave a little bit of a lighter color. There we go. There we go. I love doing these little things. Okay, and then here too. And one over here. And one down here. We're gonna leave that one for now. I'll come back to him. All right, so that's that. Then we're gonna go in, rinse your brush off, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna just gently put a little coat, blend in this yellow a little bit, and the browns and all those colors that we made in here. Okay, just like that. And then you're gonna go out and do this part. Again, I'm not really worried about mixing, you know, doing the each individual color, because they all are going to be kind of different. So there we go, just like that. Same on the other side. There we go. These things are so cool, you guys. And don't worry about staying in the lines too much. We're going to add a little shading too to him. There we go. He's looking so cool. Okay, and then we're going to go and we're going to do this yellow in here, around in there, and this yellow here. There you go. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do these little pieces, but I'm going to keep going in that same direction that I was going in. And I'm going to try and keep that. We want those lines in there, but we want to keep that center light, okay? And then we're going to go over it again with the dark just to accentuate it a little bit. These ones here, we're going to go all the way around. We want to keep the inside light again. Losing my voice. I guess I'm talking too much. This video is going to take a bit of time. This little painting is going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to be worth it at the end. There we go. And again in here, we want that pretty much at the top there. We'll have to darken that one up a little. Or I will. You guys probably went ahead and did it because you're so good at it. And again, over to this one. There we go. And this one, just like that. And over to, what else? What did I miss? I know I missed something. I always do. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna leave that. That looks good. And then we're gonna go in here and do his little, the pieces on his feet there. I'm gonna carry that color across because that's where the shadow's gonna be. So he's gonna have a little shadow there, and he's gonna have a little shadow in here too. So I'll carry that across a little bit, and then we'll go out like that. And now we are going to do our coral on this side with the red. So just gently, and you know what? You don't even have to be gentle. You just let her rip and bring it toward the bottom and in toward the center. Leave some white pieces there for sure. There you go. That's nice and simple. Then I'm gonna do my little guys. Oh, I forgot to do that guy. I'm gonna do my little dots here for now, and then we're gonna do the sand last, you guys. And then I'm just gonna bring my little yellow out and activate that a little bit. Oh, we got a little bit of purple in there, but that is okay too. Okay, and then I'm gonna go and do this guy, this coral, like that. And then we're gonna go do this big one. So same thing here, guys. You might wanna use your bigger brush for this. I think I will. Use my bigger brush. And I'm just gonna start at the top so I don't have to dig my way through, and I'm gonna cover in some of that light spot, but not all of it. There we go. Just like that. And we might even want to add a little bit of yellow in there too, but for now I'm just gonna leave it this green because it's kind of seaweedy, so I guess it is seaweed. There we go. Nothing too fancy, just let your brush do the work for you. That's what I say. There we go. Perfect. It's going to be nice and dark in here at the base. Just like that. That piece, which we will outline later. And then those pieces too. Yeah, nothing too fancy, just filling it in. There we go. And then this guy needs a little more color. I might add a little more yellow to him. So that's our coral and stuff. And we're gonna do that guy too. And I think with him, I am going to do like a brown color. I think I am going to do slight color Expresso brown in here, just to follow along with the dark. There you go. And then he's going to be a bit shadowed too in here. And then I'll make his center. I think I'll leave his center white, so you can take your brush again and you can just color that in, that brown color. There we go. And then down here, this guy here, and this is fairly dark in here, can leave a little bit of white here because these shells are a little bit white. And then we need this guy. And that's good for that. All right. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna put a little bit of yellow in here, but I want some darker marks on our turtle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my Expresso brown and I'm gonna dip it in the water, and then I'm just gonna show you that again. I just dipped it in a little bit, and then I just sort of am tapping it off, And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make these little dark marks in here, just so this shows up a little bit better. Okay, you might have to reload that, dip again, because they kind of have this starburst thing going on their back. So I think they're so cool. And I might even add a little bit of red in there too, but for now I'm leaving it as it is. So just to make a few little starbursts here and there. Oh, dip that in again. Yeah, I think I might add a little bit of red in him too. There we go. And you know what, guys, don't just do it fast, okay? Because if you take too long, it tends to, you know, then you start thinking about it too much. And you don't want to think about this too much. You want to just go for it. There we go. A few little more marks there. And then I'm probably going to go over that with a couple of marks there with the Sharpie as well. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna add, I think we're gonna add a little bit of color in here as well. Just a little dab will do ya. There you go. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now I am gonna take my Carmine red and I'm gonna do the same thing in here just to add a little extra something something in there. And it doesn't have to be in every one, but I really like the red feel of this on the turtle, especially because it brings in our coral. It brings in the whole painting, really. So just a tiny bit of that. And there we go, that's good there. And then what we want to do, or what I want to do, is I want to go in and I want to go with a light gray color, greenish gray color. This is a really light color, and I'm just gently going to go in here under the back side in this area, and I'm just gently going to color it because that's going to be more in the shadow, okay? On the back side of his legs or flippers or whatever you want to call them. So just gently put that in there. Again, don't be too particular, you know, just get her done. And same with the back of his head in here. There's going to be shadow in here and along in here. It's not all going to be white, but some of it is. And then in here too, we want to add a little bit in here. And I don't think we're going to go in and color that part because I want us to keep some white parts in here as well. So, but I want it, you know, to have a little bit more color on his back here rather than white splotches. So just to add a little extra in here, and then we're not going to go and paint that again. This is just how it's going to stay. I mean, you guys could go and paint it again if you like. That is entirely up to you. I think I'd rather keep a little bit of white. And then I'm gonna, again, color in a little bit of the paws or the feet there as well. And now this is mostly dry, so I'm actually gonna go in with a lemon yellow, and I'm going to color some of this in just for a little extra stuff in here. There we go. Just to give it a little bit extra dimension here. And then I might even brighten up in the center there too of his back. Just for a little extra color. There we go. Oh, I love him. I'm loving him. Loving him. Okay, then what we're going to do is take your paintbrush, and we're going to go color that sand in again because we've added a little bit of darkness to that now. So go in, just add that in there. It's fairly dark under there. Oh, I think it looks lovely. There we go. Okay, guys. So he is looking absolutely spectacular. So I think I am going to call it a day. So you want to sign your work. Okay. So I'm going to sign right here. Oh, my pen works. Right here. Don't forget to sign your work. You can write whatever you want on there, you guys, but I love doing this little picture, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And it is Sharie signing off from Sharie's Painting, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you're liking what I'm doing, please do like and subscribe. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.